All right, you ready to look at some stuff?
Sure, what do you got?
All right.
Let's see what's going on here.
All right. We thought we would show you this real quick. This is something I'm thinking of getting rid of. I have many bass guitars. This is definitely a tricked out semi-custom, as you can tell from the knobs, pickups, headstock, and that. I would use this Misery bass to when we would basically go overseas or we would fly somewhere. Reason being, a lot of times you don't want to leave one of my high-end basses where people can just grab it at a space in Amsterdam or something like that. And also, there was one time that Misery flew out of the country, and when we were coming back from Amsterdam, our lead guitar was snapped in half, and it was a Gibson studio guitar, so it was a very expensive guitar. They probably just throw this stuff around. When you travel and you're in a band, take a cheaper bass with you. You don't want to have a $2,000
yeah, because you got theft
or whatever.
You got people stealing stuff. You got all kinds of stuff that can happen.
And I heard the dog come home. So anyway, thinking about this, just thought it would be nice to sell. I've got other basses.
Here, hold it up into the light more so I can catch that lower end of it. Here, get right under the light and bring it up so we can see it sparkle a little bit. It's really a tough looking bass. This is kind of on the fence. He's deciding whether he's going to sell this or keep it.
Yep. Because my other ones are all high-end. Obviously, I want one.
And here's the rare Misery necklace. I think how many were made? Not many, right?
Half dozen, maybe.
I have one at my house.
Yep. I think maybe 6, 8 tops. They were custom made.
So this has got to be pried off.
Yep. We're going to show you a few other pieces of equipment. Here we've got a vintage Peavey Mach 4, late 1980s. Still has the Misery sticker from the first few years of Misery. Actually, like the first year or two. Damn, those stickers are old on their own. Anyway, this bass head has been around the world. It was Misery's second bass head, probably the first 10 years. This thing is a powerhouse. It sounds great. Believe it or not, still works mint condition, even though it's been jostled around in vehicles, probably dropped a couple times, beer spilled down it. Sounds fantastic. Anyway, give you a look at the back here. This could be something that you could sell on eBay. I'm going to guesstimate it probably weighs about 30, 40 pounds. Might cost a lot to ship. Probably better to put it on consignment. Piece of equipment like this right now, it's going on eBay for about $200-300, but the shipping's about $50, so probably listed for the same amount. Take a hit on the consignment. Anyway, let's get a close-up look at this thing. These are still not too hard to find. But to find one that still works great like this and is this old is, it's quite a treasure. And what do we have next? And here we have another powerhouse fucking monster. This is an Ampeg speaker enclosure. 6 speakers. I know it's got an 18-inch woofer down there. It probably looks like a couple 15s, maybe a couple 6 or 8s. Also got a horn speaker in it. This thing is a bitch to move. It weighs 170 pounds. Really hate to part with something like this, but it takes 2 strong people to move this thing. If you play a show, you've been out at the club all night, you've been drinking, the night's over with, it's 2 a.m., you want to go to bed, this thing has to be moved. It's got to go up and down stairs. It is a nightmare, but it sounds just great. Can't beat it. Really, really, like I said, hate to part with it. This is another thing that's, the question is it going to be consignment or is it going to be Craigslist? I've said it a million times, the problem with Craigslist, you get some good people, you get some crazies, they want to come often, they want to look at it a few times, they are looking in your windows, they're always trying to come down on the price, or you take it to a consignment store and you lose 20%. Anyway, like I said, this thing's probably... I am going to guess about 15 years old, and I've seen these going upwards of $1,000, mostly in California and that. Not sure about Minnesota, but thought you'd like a look at that sucker. And in finality here, we have a brutal little Peavey micro bass combo amp, which means amp and speaker. It's probably about 25, 30 years old. Still works spectacular. Kind of a collector's item, but something that you can use for many different things. We're using it as a cheap PA right now. But anyway, just thought you would enjoy getting a look at some old equipment, and this concludes the shoot.